This episode of My Two Satoshis is brought to you by Bitmart. Bitmart's new quick exchange feature allows you to buy cryptos directly using fiat in just minutes. Use either Visa, MasterCard, and even a wire transfer. They work with the most trustworthy third-party vendors to make your crypto experience easy and convenient. So visit the link below to start using Bitmart's new fiat to crypto feature on bitmart.com. Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is August 27, 2019. Shout out to my man Adrian760 out there on YouTube for the song request today. Nipsey Hussle, Double Up, classic right here. Man, I miss Nipsey. Still can't believe he's gone. But you guys are here, and welcome to another episode. Today, we are going to be taking a look at Brave browser. They're actually going to be adding ERC20 token support to their crypto wallets. So we'll take a look at this detail. Hey man, BAT or Brave is a good project. They're always evolving. They're always upgrading, making improvements. As you guys know, they added the ability to tip on Twitter. They've got Reddit. They're just doing an outstanding job, and they are my third top holding. Even though the actual coin isn't doing that well price-wise, I believe it will start to pick up as more demand comes through for that token. I do have to say that one thing I'm not in support of is how they have their KYC with their Uphold. I don't know if there's a parent company or partner company or whatever, sister company. That's the only thing I don't like, though I understand why they're doing it. It's just very upsetting that they actually had to do that. But the technology, I think, and the way their ecosystem has been built is really going to foster crypto adoption, in my opinion. Second article is out of BitcoinMagazine.com. Chainalysis says that most mixed Bitcoins are not used for illicit purposes. And this is something I've echoed many times. It's not about being or doing mixing and, stopping the trail on your transactions for illicit purposes. No, it's just to be able to have some level of anonymity on this blockchain. All right. So by itself, in itself, Bitcoin is a pseudo-anonymous type of blockchain, meaning that you can, if you see the on ramp and exit ramp of your actual coins from crypto to fiat or fiat to crypto, you are able to kind of, put together a trail of who is who and where things are moving and to who. So you have to be careful with that. But this article does shed some light and some hope for mixing coins. So we'll take a look at that in a second as well. And last but definitely not least, out of CryptoVest, Craig Wright loses case against Dave Kleiman, the late Dave Kleiman, I should add. We'll take a look at the details on this. I think he's forced to pay up like $500 million. I don't know, something crazy. Of course, you still have people on Twitter making excuses, saying that he had to lie and say that he wasn't Satoshi Nakamoto because he wanted to stay keep the spirit of Satoshi. Man, I don't know, man. People make up some crazy stories to justify their nonsense, man. It's just across the board. But it's just interesting because, me starting this channel 2 years ago, I never thought people had such cognitive dissonance, man. I really never even seen cognitive dissonance on the level that I see it nowadays, having a channel and people's comments and telling people, look, you need to look at the facts. This is what's happening with this project XYZ. This is why you should leave. It's written in plain sight, and it's just crazy that people have so much cognitive dissonance. I'm sure I suffer from cognitive dissonance in some areas of my life as well, but over the years I would say I've tried very hard to think about things from a critical manner. I'm sure we'll never be able to be fully devoid of cognitive dissonance, but try hard to get rid of that. It's not good. It hinders you from growing. It hinders you from having an open mind about various things and really just experiencing life at its fullest. Sorry to kind of get off on a tangent there, but yeah, this we'll take a look at this Craig Wright loss and what happens next with him in this case. So let's take a look at this Coin 360 heat map for today. Bitcoin down 1% to $10,182. Ethereum down 0.25% to $186.96. EOS down 0.2% to $3.57. Binance token is down 1.7% to $25.53. And I'm very surprised that we've got BSV up 0.5% today. Looks like it was actually rallying over the last couple of days for whatever odd reason. Man, these markets actually don't make much sense anyhow. Bitcoin Cash up 1.34% to $311. And if we take a look at this chart, I've been tracking it since a couple of days now. As you can see, it's actually kind of following my wave pattern here that I have drawn. If we hold this area, this will be another higher low, but we'll just have to see what happens. I think we still may touch this trend line, but even if we do that in the near future, it should be higher than this last circle I have here. But there's a lot of consolidation going on, so we'll just have to keep an eye out on it. Not much price action in the last week or so in Bitcoin. It's been in a range. I mean, you can actually literally draw something like that. But to the first article out of Bitcoin Magazine, Chainalysis report says most of the mixed Bitcoins out there on the blockchain are not used for illicit purposes. It says if Chainalysis is right, only a small fraction of coins sent to and from Bitcoin mixers are used for illicit purposes. My first question, though, as I'm reading this, if they're being mixed, how are they able to determine whether or not they're used for illicit purposes? Then does that mean the mixing isn't working? I don't understand. In a recent webinar titled Cryptocurrency Typologies, the blockchain analytics firm suggested that users of mixing services mostly leverage the option for privacy reasons. Many darknet users, in contrast, send their coins directly from exchanges. With that said, while they come from a small minority of all users of mixing services, a large fraction of stolen coins do end up being mixed. A lot of people are using mixers just for personal privacy, explained Hannah Curtis, senior product manager of data at Chainalysis, during the webinar. But we do know that a lot of illicit funds do end up at mixers. The Chainalysis webinar presented a broad overview of blockchain use cases, which included blockchain analysis of mixers and darknet markets, but also mining pools, ICOs, hosted wallets, ransomware, and more. One of the perhaps more surprising conclusions is that Bitcoin mixers, both centralized and decentralized versions, appear to be used much more often for privacy purposes than for illicit activity. Specifically, Chainalysis believes that 8.1% of all mixed coins were stolen, while only 2.7% of coins had been used on darknet markets. As such, less than 1 in every 11 coins sent to mixers could be identified as being used for illicit purposes. Additionally, 1.9% of mixed coins came from gambling and betting sites, which could be illegal depending on the jurisdiction of the user and the website. In contrast, though, almost half of all mixed coins were sent from exchanges. This includes 40% from traditional exchanges and 7.7% from peer-to-peer exchanges. Over a quarter of mixed coins came from other mixers. It is worth noting, however, that while 8.1% of stolen coins represents a minority of all mixed coins, it does represent a large fraction of all stolen coins. That is to say, most stolen coins get mixed. And I'm going to skip through this, hit the part about darknet markets. Chainalysis webinar also detailed where coins moving to darknet markets are sent from. Once again, the fraction of coins sent from mixers appears relatively low. Interestingly, more than half of all Bitcoins moving to these digital block markets, 54.8%, are simply sent from regular exchanges. Another 23.5% are sent from peer-to-peer exchanges. Only 0.5% of coins were sent from mixing services. Interesting. Chainalysis webinar touched on recent events around one darknet market in particular. After a wave of shutdowns earlier this year, Nightmare Market had emerged as one of the biggest markets on the darknet in recent months. Around mid-July 2019, however, the market was seemingly hacked. Though the website itself claimed a disgruntled employee was causing havoc, the market went offline soon after, in turn feeding rumors that the market's operators ultimately decided to pull an exit scam. So the article concludes here that throughout the webinar, Chainalysis also touched on other uses of cryptocurrencies, though it did not always supply concrete figures or statistics. The analytics firm confirmed that Bitcoin used for terrorist financing has been on the rise, for example, but did not detail how much it had risen. Of course not. And it also mentioned that the number of Bitcoin ATMs has been on the rise exponentially over the past years to a total of 4,000 machines worldwide. And it was pointed out that these ATMs are often used to sell coins earned on darknet markets. Well, I just thought that was a neat tidbit there. Take it for what you may. I don't know exactly how they are coming to these conclusions, but this report did catch my eye. Let's take a quick look at AMB Crypto. Brave crypto wallets update to support Ethereum and ERC20 tokens. Brave, the open source web browser, made its way into the crypto ecosystem after a successful launch of BAT tokens and the browser's inbuilt wallet. Staying true to its momentum, Brave publicly informed the community about an upcoming feature, acknowledging the ongoing crypto-focused developments of the company. They mentioned this new feature is a client-side Ethereum wallet with support for Ethereum and most standard Ethereum tokens and collectibles, including BAT. According to the latest release, Crypto Wallets is a standalone component that does not allow BAT transfers directly between Brave rewards and crypto wallets. The post also highlighted the fact that Crypto Wallets is for people who already have a working understanding of cryptocurrencies, and that it's only for you if you are already familiar with crypto and Ethereum specifically. Brave also said that the team will add Uphold support to crypto, which will eventually allow users to directly transfer crypto assets between verified Uphold accounts. Brave rewards and crypto wallets, indicating some sort of identity verification process, although they said that Brave as a company was committed to ensure that it knows the absolute minimum about its users. Yeah, okay. So, yep, they'll be adding ERC20 token support to their browsers very soon, and I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. And the best for last, Crypto Vest. Craig Wright loses case against Dave Kleiman. The judge on the case refuted the claims that Wright was Satoshi Nakamoto and ordered that 50% of the Bitcoin held in the Tulip Trust be rewarded, or awarded, I should say, to the estate of David Kleiman. Craig Wright is not Satoshi Nakamoto, at least according to a recent court decision in the case of Wright against the estate of David Kleiman. The case was closely watched by the crypto community as Wright threatened to establish his authorship of Bitcoin and then go on to destroy the market price of the leading cryptocurrency. The convoluted tale of Wright arrived just days after he republished the Bitcoin white paper in a social science repository. Wright's claim to the authorship of Bitcoin was widely disbelieved over the years, of course. Now the question is whether Ira Kleiman, David's brother and executioner of the estate, would gain real access to the actual coins or even wallets. Wright was not clear on how the Tulip Trust was set up and who controlled the actual Bitcoin addresses and wallets. Potentially gaining hold to earlier mined Bitcoin may also award the same amount of all the hard forks in the history of Bitcoin's network, including Bitcoin Cash and BSV. That's interesting. Wright's claims and attempts to receive legal recognition and claim authorship of Bitcoin were used widely to bolster the appeal of the BSV project. However, the news of losing the lawsuit failed to affect the BSV market price significantly. BSV followed the general market slump, losing about 3.7%. And I found the actual tweet. Shout out to Helen on Telegram in the crypto web bot room. She posted this. It said, Dr. Craig Wright understood the importance of anonymity for Satoshi Nakamoto persona, it being critical to decentralization of the network. This is why he committed perjury to protect the idea of Satoshi Nakamoto and shift the focus off of himself to nothing. He's a hero. Oh, man. That is classic right there. And I guess that's a good way to end this episode of My Two Satoshis. You guys give me your feedback and comments on today's articles. Shout out again to Adrian760 out there on YouTube for the song request Nipsey Hussle. Double up. Classic right here. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to get the latest on crypto news and interviews. I'm out of here, people. It's My Two Satoshis for August 27, 2019. Double up. Holla. I ain't telling no lie.